I think I just found the next Death Note, or at least the new gen version of Death Note. Just like how My Hero Academia, Black Clover, and Demon Slayer are considered the new gens of anime and manga, I think this new series, Super Smartphone, can fill in the hole left by Death Note, and with time even surpass the other new gens. Now this is some high praise for a relatively new series, so let me explain and give a brief description. Super Smartphone is a manga written by, sorry for butchering the names, Hiroki Tomasawa and Kentaro Hidano, which is about a high school student named Q, who is a genius, and as a kid he used to love learning. However, when Q's brother was kidnapped and never found, Q lost his interest as he said with all this information and technology, they still couldn't find his brother. Which is fair to a certain extent. In the present day, Q comes across a smartphone called Goo Goo Goo. Yes, Goo Goo Goo. You can see here that Google does exist in this world, and Q even calls it out for being a knockoff. The smartphone claims to be able to search for anything in the world. With a few tests, Q realizes that this phone truly can find anything. With this new smartphone, Q decides to figure out what the secret is behind it, and maybe even find out what happened to his missing brother. Okay, so how does this series really compare to the amazing Death Note? Despite the innate thriller mystery vibe, the premise of the two mangas seem too different to be comparable. I can see how many might think that, but Super Smartphone's plot thickens when it's revealed that Q is not the only person with this Goo 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 smartphone. And in the story, it can seem how dangerous the phone can be in the wrong hands. Goo 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 is able to search for anything online and even things not associated with the internet, as seen when the phone shows what Q had written in his personal journal. Having access to this much information can absolutely corrupt anyone, not even mentioning what position they are, like a CEO or something like that. With 12 chapters out now, at the time of this recording, we can see the two main antagonists of the series for Q, the other owners of the Goo 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 smartphones, and the police who are actively trying to hunt down the smartphone users. You can really start seeing the similarities with Death Note when you realize that all-knowing smartphone is only as useful as the person using it, which allows the character to get into psychological mind games as the other person tries to outsmart each other, where one misstep can lead to death. Q is a great main character, and he definitely gives off the so smart that is boring vibe, or I like to call it the Shikamaru. You can even see Q as a younger and more immature or cocky version of Light Yagami, as Q is not as calculated and gets in trouble because of his pride and cockiness, but we still see how smart he is, and it's great seeing how he gets himself out of the trouble. If you like Dr. Stone, then you're gonna love Super Smartphone because it basically hits all the same beats that Dr. Stone does. And look at this. You can't tell me that this doesn't look like it belongs in Dr. Stone. Now that I praise it, it's only fair to talk about some of its downsides to give you the whole picture. To start, at times Super Smartphone gives off the Hunter x Hunter, or the yeah, I'm definitely reading right now for sure. Very interesting. The manga is very smart and doesn't dumb down anything for the audience, which causes it to have a lot of text on the page sometimes. Even though reading it thoroughly can be very rewarding, as you can see how Q and the other characters think things through and figure out how the problem is going to be solved. Also, it might be obvious, but Super Smartphone is primarily a psychological thriller and mystery, meaning if you're looking for a high action series with high intensity fights, which is understandable since the genre most Shonen Jump series focus on is action. Just know that maybe this is not the read for you, but if you give Super Smartphone a chance, I know you're going to fall in love with it. I give Super Smartphone an 8 or 8.5 out of 10. It's a must read, and if you give it a chance, it might hit all the right notes for you. But also, look at these character designs. I love them. They're perfect. This doesn't add anything to the read. This doesn't add anything to sway you, but I love these character designs. And that's it. Peace.